very well. It was a very robust discussion as we had planned, and a lot of new information is on the table, a lot of ideas of concerns that people have, and then some ideas about how to address them, particularly around financing, admissions, rules that are different between the traditional public schools and the charter schools, and things of that nature. So there was just a lot of information exchanged, which was the whole point of today. It was not a decision-making day. It was put a lot of information on the table, batted around, hear other people's ideas, hear iterations of ideas, and then we're going to continue the conversation in the weeks to come.
Did you hear enough in there that makes you think there's enough to get to a yes on expanding charter schools?
Since we were not pushing for resolution, I'm not going to try to qualify, and I'm going to digest everything that we heard, and we came away with lots of lists, so now we have to figure out where there might have been some common ground and some consensus, but it's too early to try to predict whether this is going to lead to an outcome of a bill or just saying let the ballot question rip.
Are you still hoping to make a decision by Thanksgiving?
Well, Thanksgiving is maybe a little bit ambitious, but it's got to be very close to by the time we come back into session in January. So I was hoping we could do it by Thanksgiving, but it's only 2.5 weeks left, and there's a lot going on here, so I want to give myself enough room to be able to continue the conversation with members and head toward a decision in early January.
Last year, when this came up in the Senate and you were not Senate President, you were one of the 9 votes against expanding the charter cap. What's your personal opinion on this issue? The governor is laying out a case.
My personal opinion is that there are a series of issues and problems that have arisen over time, and it's fair game to review and revise, and we have to determine whether what's on the ballot or any of the bills that are in play revise to the point where people feel comfortable with moving to the next chapter of this. Because remember, this was originally supposed to be 25 schools. We're now over 72 traditional charters and 10 Horace Mann schools, and this could drive us toward really hundreds in the end, because as I recall that it's 12 a year, so in a decade you could add quite a few new charters, but also there are charters that can be added outside of the cap under certain circumstances, and I'm not sure, but I think we may be over 100 as a result of that alone, even though there's that cap of 72. If you need the actual numbers, Jim DiTullio in my office has them. I just don't have them in my head. So review and revise big policies from time to time as appropriate, and that's the process we're engaged in right now.
What's it going to take for you to get to yes?
I am a tie the break vote. Break the tie vote. I'm not a base vote. That's why presiding officers break the ties so that they can play the neutral role that they're supposed to play in trying to help people see if there's enough common ground in which to move forward with a piece of legislation. I know that's a non-traditional view around these parts.
Do you plan on taking this given
We've been doing this, you mean this approach that I've just described? We've been doing it for the last 10 months. It's worked very well. When we move a product, it's usually an improved product as a result of the process.
Are you expecting or planning any additional caucuses on the charter school issue?
There will probably be at least one more caucus at which we'll have to make a sort of a final decision, but there's a lot of conversation that's going to take place between now and then.
Do you anticipate that caucus before Thanksgiving, or maybe
No, definitely not before Thanksgiving, and that's why I say I think I have to give myself a little bit more room than I originally thought we might need.
The 18th will be
and it's not because of what happened in here, it's the process is evolving, and we're just trying to figure out how to get to the best decision.
The 18th will be here before we know it. What are you?
Isn't that amazing?
I tell you. What are you hoping that will come out of the legislature, both the House and the Senate?
There's been a lot of conversations about net metering, and I'm hoping that there'll be more progress on opioids. Those two are really pressing things. The sub-budget goes to the governor this week, so that'll be behind us.
Given that the hearing on opioids is set for November 16th, do you think it's realistic that there's any progress before January on that issue?
Some stuff is going to the governor today, I believe, in the sub-budget on opioids, so we're going to take every opportunity to move additional pieces along.
Are you going to take up the fentanyl piece separately from the opioid?
We haven't looked at that yet. I know we got it about a week or 10 days ago or so, and we know that's a priority for some folks, so it's under review right now, but we don't have a schedule. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. President.